Hello and welcome to Technicians Update number 5. In it we'll take a look at the new Metro Cabriolet and at some of the 94.5-year model changes you'll find on the rest of the car range. These include the introduction of airbags and electronic immobilisation systems on some models and changes to anti-lock braking. We'll start with the Metro Cabriolet. This is the third cabriolet we've introduced in recent years, following the success of the 200 and Mini. Let's look at some of its features first. The hood is power operated and raising and lowering is simplicity itself. The two catches on the header rail are just like the Mini and 200 cabriolets. To lower the hood, first release the catches by pressing the release buttons and pulling the locking handles down. When both locking hooks have been released, push the handles back up. Then make sure the handbrake is on. Turn the ignition to position 2 and press the down button on the instrument panel until the hood is fully lowered. Incidentally, I'm sure I don't have to remind you that you should never try to raise or lower the hood while the car is moving. Before raising it, you must first lower all the side windows a couple of turns to make sure they don't foul the hood while it's rising. You'll see these symbols to remind the owner. Then release the hood catches, handbrake on, ignition in position 2, and press the up button. When the hood has risen fully, push the hooks forward to position them in their holes in the header rail. Then press the locking handles upwards. The hood is now secured and the side windows can be closed. A tonneau cover is supplied to fit over the hood when it's down. It's stored in a bag in the boot. To fit it, first make sure the locking handles are in the locked position. Then put the cover over the hood and pull it into place. Secure it with the press studs around the outside, and there are two also on the parcel shelf inside, and there are two 10X fasteners, one on each side. They're secured by pulling the centre button out. Incidentally, the rear screen is secured by Velcro strips on either side and by a zip fastener across the top. It should never be open when the car is being driven because of the danger of exhaust fumes being drawn into the car. The design is simply to make the screen easy to remove if it has to be renewed at any time. It's secured across the bottom by a series of Torx screws. The anti-theft system is similar to the Metro Saloon, but it has the addition of a Doppler volumetric sensor, which is fitted just behind the cassette storage rack. It protects the inside of the car regardless of whether the hood is up or down, and it works in the same way as the Mini Cabriolet. You'll have already seen the Mini system in Technicians Update number 4. The rear seat squab is released in a similar way to the 200 Coupe by a pull handle inside the boot. Then it folds forward like the Saloon Metro. While we're in this area, a quick word about the rear seat belts, and in particular the floor-mounted locks. Due to width limitations, the right-hand belt must be attached to the left-hand lock, and the left-hand belt to the right-hand lock. So when you unfold the seat, you must thread the locks through like this so that they cross over. Specially designed lock catches in the belts mean that it's impossible to engage the right-hand belt in the right-hand lock and vice versa. Inside the boot, lift the floor covering to reach the spare wheel. It's easier to get out if you fold the rear seat forward. Then, after you've undone the clamp, this handy strap is provided to help lift the wheel. So don't forget to put the strap onto the changed wheel before lowering it in. And these symbols remind the owner how to remove the wheel. Now let's look at some of the technical features of the Metro Cabriolet. Like any other saloon converted to soft top, when the metal roof is cut off, a considerable amount of the body's strength is removed and has to be replaced. On the Metro, this is done more than adequately. First, the box section sills are enlarged and strengthened. Then there is this massive box section transversely across the floor of the car, and another one which forms this parcel shelf and locates the two radio speakers. Then there are a number of other strengthened areas, like the stiffener under the front wheel arch on each side, and another one in the footwells. The result is a very strong, rigid body structure. Now the doors. You'll have already noticed that the windows are frameless, so this concept means that considerable attention has to be paid to the guides to ensure that the glass will move up accurately into the hood frame and avoid any water leaks. We'll show you how this is done a little later when we talk about adjustments. An electrically controlled hydraulic pump operates the hood and is located inside the boot on the left-hand side. It pumps hydraulic fluid to either end of two rams connected between the body and the hood frame. The fluid reservoir is at the bottom of the pump. If an electrical or hydraulic fault should develop, then the hood can be opened or closed manually. To do it, you must first turn this T-shaped screw on the pump to release the pressure in the system. The screw can be accessed through this flap. Slowly turn the screw anti-clockwise by 4 complete turns. Then manually raise or lower the hood, but don't do it any faster than the power operation. And don't forget that if the manual operation has been used, you must re-tighten the screw before the power operation can be used again. Incidentally, if air gets into the system, there is a procedure to bleed it. The electrical connection to the pump passes through this 30-amp fuse, which is located in position 8 in the fuse box. The hood frame hinges at this point on both sides. It's positively located to the body by a dowel and secured with these 3 Torx screws. Now a word about cleaning. The rear screen is susceptible to scratching from dirt and grit, so it's important it's washed frequently. And in particular, don't open or close the hood if it is very dirty. If you get the chance, have a look in the owner's handbook. You'll find a lot of useful information relating to care of the hood. Before we finish with the Cabriolet, let's just take a few minutes to talk about adjustments. There's considerable inbuilt adjustment flexibility to keep wind noise and water ingress problems to a minimum. We'll start with the door glass. The objectives are these. It has to lie parallel with the A-post ceiling rubber, fit snugly against it all the way up, behind the flip of the seal, and it must rise to the correct height to reach the cantrail seal on the hood. To achieve this, there are these adjusters at the front and rear of the lift channel. Adjust them equally and the glass height will alter. Adjust one or the other and the glass will tilt forwards or backwards. Then there are these adjusters attached to the vertical channels. They allow you to tilt the glass in or out. And in addition, they both have adjustable cams to eliminate excessive play of the glass in the channels. Next, the quarter glasses, which also have full adjustment. By slackening all 6 fixings which secure the glass mounting frame to the body, you can see here that the glass can be moved forward and back, angled forward and back, tilted in or out, or lifted up or down, so you can adjust it all ways. To lie parallel to the door glass, wind smoothly up so it lies snugly against the inside of the door glass, and when it is fully up, it's level with the door glass at the top. Finally, the cantrail seals. They all fit in slotted mountings so they can be adjusted in or out to lie correctly against the door and quarter glasses. One final thought, never attempt to alter the position of these brackets at the front of the hood. They've been preset at the factory and must not be touched. Well, that completes our look at the exciting new Metro Cabriolet, a car which is destined to have great appeal to all age groups.